Anyway, let's get back to it, shan't we? We got 2 new tips, so let's see what the article is about. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of lessons on child stuff here in Japan. I remember hearing about a recent article about some parents that got caught with their children in like a locked room, basically barely eating. This might be a little bit interesting. U19. So statistics show it's more likely that you'll be abused by your blood relative than your non-blood relative. Interesting, the statistics show that there are higher non-blood fathers, but those are still just statistics. Ugh. To be fair, most parents are probably not intelligent enough to psychologically abuse their children. Should I be concerned that the game decided to cue the creepy ass music on sexual violence? Or should I just think that was a weird timing and maybe that was supposed to start on Forbidden? Cause yeah, that's concerning. I mean, that's not to say sexual abuse is in any way good or anything. I mean, obviously that's awful, but I mean, like, the fact that the game cued. No, don't say. I want to double check whether that was queuing on that line or not, actually. I actually wanted to see if that queued on. If I had just clicked it too fast, or if it actually queued on. Because, like, what I'm saying is, you gotta keep in mind, I play a lot of mystery games and stuff, too, and, you know, I play a lot of different games and stuff, and, like, at a game design, just having, like, the entire thing except for one part have a music cue. It's pretty weird without, if it has absolutely no intent. Because, I mean, like, audio enhances a situation, both good and bad. Creepy, brave, cowardly, silly, you know? So, forbidden. I'm gonna touch it. It cued it on the numbers. It wasn't necessarily sexual violence, but it cued it exactly on the numbers. I mean, obviously sexual violence and abuse and shit are horrible. I mean, but it just kind of odd that it just actually cues it on that. Like, that makes it sound like that might be something that comes into play, which... Wow, I mean, I always thought the game was dark, but who knew it would get even darker if that was the case? I mean, like, we're always dealing with gods, demons, mortals, and all kinds of fucking shit. Now we need sexual abuse in it? Like, hey. Hopefully it's just either a red herring, or maybe they just threw it in there to be like, yeah, this is bad here, so. The die have been cast. See, I noticed this is a weird coin with the main character. He keeps trying to think things rationally, but then he kinda gets too ahead of himself. See, he's going too hard on this. It's like, I understand, I deeply understand what he means. All too well do I understand what he means. But there's a certain degree of rationality you have to apply as well. You can't simply just do anything you want. I liked the little character too. Well, you know, up until when she started murdering me, and then, you know, now I'm just super cautious around her. I mean, everyone except for the two little girls have basically murdered me at this point, so... I'm expecting that probably gonna change in this one, probably. I understand so well what he's trying to say here, but you can't just do whatever you want. You can't. Even when it's wrong, there are certain degrees of logic you still have to do. After all, there are certain lines, too. That's not to say, like, if somebody was physically really being hurt, you should just not do anything. That's certainly what I'm not trying to say. But you can't just decide to do everything and anything you want either. Now, you could ask, is this the situation where that line should be crossed? That you should defy law? That you should defy logistics? It's a tough question. She was being hurt. She did indeed have bruises. She's not in a life and death situation at the moment, so you could argue it not being as bad, but certainly one would desire for something to be done. Murderous episodes withstanding. Like, considering what happened in Chapter 2, I almost really want to go with the whole being possessed by demon theory. Like, it really feels like that seems like the case. Because, I mean, she tried to kill me in Chapter 1. Chapter 2, she saved me. And I do think up to right now, at this very moment, why is that different? One of the two people that tried to kill me remained the same in Chapter 1 and 2. But one of the people who also tried to kill me in Chapter 1 did not. She ultimately saved my life against her village's best interests. Why? It's a very strange thing that's different between the two chapters. Why? I know that feeling all too well, too. Attacking your friends isn't going to solve anything. Not to get in my personal problems much, but I hold great resentment for the person who calloused the problems going on with a friend of mine. We need to get to Chapter 4. You really want me to go through Chapter 4. You're excited. By the way, I'm not sure if I ever told you how my streaming is exactly. Like I have 3 streaming days: Monday, Saturday, Friday and Saturday. Monday, Friday, and Saturday. Each one's for a specific type of thing. No club again. Someone missing. Yes, so to explain that if I never have, Monday is my shorty stream. So the idea of Monday is to play either short titles or titles that might be a little bit more bonkers for long term. Like Tabs I think is fun for like an hour or two, but I probably wouldn't want to play it for like 6 hours a day. So I think it'll work for a fun, silly thing for a Monday stream, because I only basically stream 1 hour a little after getting home from work. I'll get home, have some dinner, and then sell a little, and then do the 1 hour stream. Friday is my viewer vote system, so One of the first things I did with my channel points is if you go to the channel point thing on my channel, you'll see that there was an option to vote. You will have an option to vote the viewer request. That will allow you to add something to the request list. So if you draw your attention to the lower right, you'll see a scroll message. That shows you the poll of the voted stuff. So how that works is, once I beat this title, because this title is the current victory of being the viewer vote, when I finish this title, the next one that has the highest votes will become the next title to be played on Fridays. And then when that one's finished, so on and so forth. So, if you have points, and there's something you're interested in watching be played, then you can add it to the list, and either you or other people can add points to it to outvote other things. Saturday is just basically whatever the fuck I want to do. So basically Friday is the control of the viewers, and Saturdays are the control of whatever I want to do. And that's basically the simple way it goes about. It's not very complicated or anything. But I've liked doing the viewer thing since when I started. I kind of stole it from the RPG quest. He was doing something where he added in a voting system, and I was like, oh, I like that idea, and I just kind of did my own version of it. Mine's a little simpler, because his does like a big, like, spinning wheel thing. Like, everyone adds choices in it, and then he spins it. So, it's a little different. Mine's like, obviously, a majority wins thing. But, yeah, so if you build up enough points, you can add stuff onto the list, and it can build up. Or you can wait until it ends up in the position where it's the highest. Pad likes the farm point. This title was Carter's choice. He put a lot of points into it. And I could endanger my own life. Could he possibly be wanting to ask the head of the family, maybe? I mean, that would be someone in a position of power. They have a lot of the marketplace and political power. That could be an option. But he could... I could see what you mean by put his life in danger, because, I mean, assuming there's still a Yakuza-style family, you know, threatening the head of a Yakuza with barking orders could, you know... But, you know, if he's smart about it, because, you know, she talks about, you know, union and what we're all family and shit. So, you know, if he plays his cards right and his whole grandma really does believe in that. If her grandma really does believe in that, then maybe she would understand. Maybe. But yeah, and, you know, remind me to invite you to my server, by the way. Because, probably another question you would probably ask if you would ever vote for something is, How does someone know what they can vote on? I do have a Google Doc a Google Doc document that's in my Discord that people can go view everything on that list, so you can easily find if I have something or not. But yeah, I need to invite you into my Discord. Hopefully it's not full of cameras. It's a legal problem. I want to talk to your grandma. See, they keep having these incidents where, like, we don't get the context in the new timeline where he heard about said things. Is he seriously about to try and be like, you know, if only that course would kill her uncle. Man, think of all the usefulness that would be right now. Like, I did not hit my scroll wheel. The scroll wheel thing is really sensitive on this. Nobody knows at all. Like, is he honestly in the mindset that whole family's doing these? Oh, you're saying it's all a facade? Masquerading as a course. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, Crush. I mean, obviously we can't really straight out take that as truth because, I mean, she was involved in both incidents so far. We have nothing to do with them. We only happen to have a giant basement cell in the forest with a well full of bodies. But we have nothing to do with it. At all. Nope. Oh yeah, not totally no chance at all. I mean, what are the odds, right? Wouldn't it be hilarious if the nurse and the uncle died, though? That would be such a big difference now. But I have a bad feeling it's not. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not a normal conversation. Hey, buddy, man, you know, that terrible fucking course that happens every Christmas Eve, you know. They say, you know, the village elder's family might have something to do with it. But, you know, I just wanted to say, you know, that asshole, the Grinch down the well, what a fucking poor sport. You know, if only he, like, mysteriously was sacrificed to something this year instead of someone else in the village, right? You're lucky when I'm VR, I'd be choking you. Hmm. See, I'm seeing three scenarios possible, and I think the likely scenario is the camera guy and the Norse are gonna die again. I think it's not going to change. To be fair, though, the way the Norse died did change last time. So I'm not completely saying it's impossible. Another possibility is the Norse and the uncle die. I'm not necessarily leaving that out, but I don't think it's likely. I think the game wants us to think that's probably going to be what happens. I don't think it will. And then, of course, the third scenario: completely different victims. I mean, one of the characters in the recap for Chapter 2 did say their personal opinion was that they want the mastermind, but that there was something more to it. And if that's the case, that could be what she's referring to. Of course, there is, how should I say, a more terrifying outcome that is kind of like hanging off of a little piece of string off my brain, and that's if the uncle dies. Maybe she vanishes. That would be cruel and horrible, but that seems to be what the game likes to get its kicks off of. The morning came. So far, seems like a typical morning. So tomorrow, if I remember correctly, tomorrow now will be the festival. Which, oh boy, aren't we gonna all be excited for that? Yeah, more child labor. I mean, to be honest, you kind of did. I mean, that wasn't a normal conversation. That was a desperate lunatic trying to hope something would happen for some greater good. See, I was in this camp until we got to like this fucking point. I mean, come on, no children, they're committing all these gruesome murders. And I think the two likely scenarios are either A, the nurse and the camera guy die again, or B, the uncle dies and she gets demoned away. Those are the two scenarios I think are most likely to happen. I don't think we're going to get the best, like, oh, the uncle and the nurse vanished, but hey, your friendship's still good and stuff. Cause I mean, what more is gonna happen in chapter 3 if that happens, right? I mean, the main focus of this chapter was safe. It wouldn't be thrilling, you know. I know my looking at it from a game design or narrative perspective is kind of being a wet noodle, but no, you didn't call the officer who supposedly in this one believed to be the one who also gets to choose. Oh, oh, we ratted it out. We're doing okay until someone dies horrifically. Then it will be kind of depending. But how you doing today, Jess? Yeah, my guess is she's probably not going to be at school. Probably not. Ah, dang it. I accidentally closed my chat window. Good job, me. Good job, me. I mean, I would say the likely thing is that probably didn't, because there wouldn't be a whole bunch of conflict to it. No, without like some weird twisted thing happening. Oh, her shoes are there. Hey! Ooh, miss. It was the teacher. She did it. How dare you, nothing got changed. Hmm. Uh-oh. He's gonna get pissed at the teacher. Are you gonna try and tell me she did a boy cried wolf situation here? Oh my goodness. Shoplift candy! Situation is at a bit of a stand. For the record, child protection services don't work like that here. They go for it every time just in case. Sometimes it's something of a problem. I'm not very familiar with child services, to be honest. Out of curiosity, though, I do... Well, not necessarily... What's the one I'm thinking of? Maybe worth noting, however, is while I don't know much about child protection services or interacting with them, there were 2 occasions they wanted to take me away from my parents. One time was because I ran away. So it was viewed as child neglect. However, the context of the situation wasn't I was running away from my parents. I ran away because of my sister. What had happened was my sister locked me out of the house. And in my stupidity as a very young child, decided I would walk to where my mother walked. I would walk to where my mother walked and go tattle on her. Of course, being a young child, I had no fucking idea where the hell I was going on foot. I didn't even really know the right direction to go. So, yeah. And you gotta keep in mind, this happened on a military base. So, yeah. Not good. Now, the other time... Not 100% sure on its location. Before coming to Missouri, we lived in Washington. And before Washington, we lived in Germany. There might have been a bit of time between those two and might have been in Pennsylvania for a little bit, maybe. But not quite 100% sure the location of this incident, to be honest. But there was a time I was in someone's house. My dad thinks it was the grandparents' house, one of them. But I was inside the house, and I had moved something. And this is a very old memory. Like, I only remember getting something to open the door latch, and going outside to go play on the park that was nearby. That's all I really remember. I don't remember where it was. I don't even know how old I was. But, obviously, when somebody came to actually find where the hell I wasn't in the house anymore. Of course, by the time I got found, it was brought up as child neglect, because I had gone out of the house as a wee child. So, those are the 2 incidents where there was child protection services actually looking into taking me away from my family. Honestly, I would have hated it. As much as sometimes I gripe about my dad, and several times, obviously, we all disagreed with each other. I think my parents did a good job raising me and helped prepare me for this world. I miss my mother every day. Sometimes there were times where she just didn't feel like doing anything anymore. Obviously, it was tough with her for the last years of her life because it was hard for her to do anything anymore. I still think how I last saw a vegetable, all her limbs slowly dying. ultimately, my parents did a good job raising me. I always feel bad because a lot of people I know don't ever seem to get along with both, or at best sometimes one parent. And I certainly have my sporks and spocks and clashes with my father lately these days. But, what to do? What to do? Oh, that pesky metal wheel. Oh, you know, they're all here, so they're probably going to do a game, actually. Well, actually, a few minutes over an hour, so it might be a good idea to actually take the opportunity to